All right, go ahead and raise your hands, and I will get you the mic.
John, with the offenses today, what did you see from Baltimore's offense that wasn't happening with yours with the power?
5 more homers than we did. Yeah, I mean it was 2 3-run homers with 2 outs. That's tough to come back from. And they didn't miss mistakes. Everyone's going to get mistakes over the course of the game. Today they didn't miss them, and final score is the final score.
We talked about O'Neill a little bit before the game. I feel like this is similar to like the Mountcastle questions we've had to ask over the years. But how do you make sense of that? What he's been able to do opening days?
I blame Mike. Was that you that brought it up? I guess 6 does happen. Yeah, that's crazy. It's kind of home, road, Canada, U.S. Tip your hat, man. Likes opening day. Glad tomorrow's not opening day.
John, second inning, and on one play, there's 3 mental miscues. How does that coming out of spring training make the coaching staff feel?
You're talking about the play to first?
Yeah, play at first where Berrios was late leaving the mound. There were 2 runners at third base that they could have had in some sort of an out situation, and then he flipped it and allowed the run to score.
Yeah, I mean, Jose's probably, as evidenced by his Gold Glove, he's one of the best fielding pitchers in Major League Baseball, and probably just got caught in between there a little bit. It's a weird play. It's nobody out, and Vlad, the ball is actually, people don't know this, the ball is actually right in the lights. It's a weird play, so you're right there early in the game, you're trying to get an out. I thought it was good base running by O'Neill. It's a tough play to read when it's happening in real time. So how it makes the coaching staff feel, you credit good base running, and it was kind of a weird bounce.
John, what do you think of how Roden handled himself today?
He was great, kind of from the minute he got here to his work in the cage, and throughout the game, he was great. Looked like his normal at-bats, which is saying a lot for a young guy. Awesome that he got his first hit. Hopefully it's first of many, but I thought he handled the whole day really well.
You give him any message in the dugout after his first hit?
I wasn't really in the mood to give out hugs right there. Kind of a fist bump. Congrats. First of many. He's about as steady as they come, so I'll talk more with him after the game here.
John, with the Jimenez home run there, what have you seen through spring and as you guys have acquired him that you think can help him tap into more of that power, that offensive upside?
I mean, breaking ball that was hanging, and I think that when he's good, he's doing that. He's hitting the ball like that, pull side. Again, we talked about it early, not trying to change your at-bat because of where you're hitting. So got a pitch that he can handle, put a good swing on it. I think the biggest thing is just knowing when to kind of go for it and knowing when to use his contact skills. So it's going to happen at different points throughout the game, but I love his swings throughout camp today, and hopefully that's what we can expect from him.
John, for Jose, what was the game plan against the Orioles for him, and what kept him from executing?
Yeah, I mean, you got to pitch inside to this team, and I don't think he got in a little bit, but I think it was just mistakes. The O'Neill sinker, just trying to go middle down, and it kind of, it's up out, running back over the middle of the plate. We know that Adley has handled him fairly well over his career. It was change up. So I think it was just missed pitches, and that happens on opening day. You're a little bit amped up. But it just really, the homer to Cedric, I think, was just kind of a get-me-over heater that where they were trying to go up and in, that leaks back middle. Just came down to execution. He didn't really have his breaking ball until later in the outing. I think against this team, you got to be very aware of pitching inside, and especially with right-handed pitchers, you got to kind of wrap that breaking ball a little bit lower, and today wasn't the case.
Just with the 10 in a row retired to start the game, feels like that's something we'd seen a little bit in the past. Was it Eflin or was it approach?
No, I think it's opening day. He was, he kind of lives on the edges. Bo hits the ball hard, in the first inning, and Vlad probably a little bit too big there early. It's opening day. It's tough to gauge things, when there's so much going on emotionally today. So. That's how he pitches. That going in, he threw a few more curveballs than probably he has against us in the past, as opposed to sweeper cutter. It's just a pitcher like that. I think that can pitch to some soft contact, probably pretty advantageous for that type of guy on opening day when there's kind of a lot going on, heartbeat and things like that. So he kind of just pitched to soft contact, and you look up and you're not doing much till he goes, hits the home run.
John, mistakes aside, how dangerous is that Baltimore attack?
Yeah, that's how they're built. They're taking good swings. We've seen that for a number of years. So again, a couple 3-run homers with 2 outs is going to get you, and you got to make better pitches. We know that. Our guys know that. But yeah, it's. I know a lot gets put into opening day, right? There's a lot of fanfare and everything, but it just comes down to executing. They're a good team. They can hit home runs, and you kind of circle some guys in the lineup, and big day from Mullins, and big day from O'Neill too. I think in years past you kind of circle Adley and Gunnar, and he's not there now, and Tony, who's on our team, but they can do that. They got damage up and down 1 through 9.
John, we saw George Springer make a pretty impressive defensive play in center field. With Dalton Varsho still sidelined, is George going to be kind of the go-to guy in center field, or is it still a little bit up in the air?
We'll move him around. He still has really good first step, and center field is his natural spot. That's a nice play. We've seen that from him for years, so we can move him around. We still have other guys that are pretty capable in center too, and it'll just change based on the night.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.